everybody. Welcome to Rebreak Radio, episode 27. My name is Dennis, and today I'm joined by Julien.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What is up?
I don't know. We're here, ready to nerd out over some video game news, and I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, me too. So we're gonna go through some games we've been playing, where I talk about Sea of Thieves, God of War, the Inside Xbox announcements, as well as what we would like to see from new characters and old characters in Smash Bros. On Switch.
Oh man, Smash Bros. On Switch. It's gonna be so good.
I mean, how could it not be good?
Yeah. I think honestly, if they just ported the Wii U game, there's no way it could be worse than that, right? And that's a great game on its own.
Yeah, exactly. What have you been playing recently that you'd like to talk about?
I've been playing a lot of Ni no Kuni 2 on the PlayStation 4. I think it also is on Steam as well.
Yeah, it's on PC at least. So probably Steam.
Which is pretty awesome. It's a JRPG. It's the second in the franchise. And it comes from Level 5 Studios, I believe or Level 5. They're just a Japanese company, video game developer, and they make these games and a bunch of other games that are out on 3DS and Nintendo consoles. I think they make Professor Layton.
Yeah, I think I think they make Professor Layton. They make Yokai Watch too.
Oh yeah, Yokai Watch, right? So that's an interesting game that's similar to Pokemon. I think they announced the fourth one as well.
Yeah, and
it'll be coming out to Switch. Yeah, but this game is really cool. In that if you look at the art style, it's cel shaded. And it looks like I don't know if you know the director Hayao Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli. They make animated movies, Japanese animated movies.
Yeah, I know Studio Ghibli is involved or were involved with the first game. Now it's just artists from Studio Ghibli that are involved with this game.
Yeah, absolutely, right. So Studio Ghibli was involved in the first game, and I really loved the first game. It was exclusive to PlayStation 3. That game was one of my favorite games to come out last year. Last generation. And it's just such a cool franchise. It takes place in an alternate reality parallel to present day, I guess, and real life. And it's very fantastic, fantastical, I guess, is that a word? The first game had sort of like a somber tone to it, and it was a really sad story. And these games are really centered around the characters and the story that you play through, and then it's also backed up by really strong RPG mechanics. You're not that into RPGs and JRPGs, but for someone like me, I can just get lost. I played 50 hours in it already, and I beat the game, but I'm going back to finish all these side quests. But in this game, they've introduced they completely changed the fighting system to something that's more streamlined and sort of button mashy, which I didn't particularly like. But there's a lot of other cool systems in it that make this game absolutely worthwhile. You basically play as a character who you're starting a kingdom, and you level up. You can create your kingdom in the game, and you build all these different shops and armor shops to level up. You can level up these shops and things, so you can buy better armor from them. And all the side quests in the game, or at least there are at least 100 I think maybe 170 side quests. You get citizens to join your kingdom if you complete the side quests. So the side quests actually have some value. They're not just boring fetch quests and things like that, although some of them are boring fetch quests. But when you have that many side quests, some of them are going to be fetch quests. But so you're actually, when you're getting something worthwhile from the side quests as opposed to just experience points or something like that. So I think there's a lot more incentive to complete them, and then there's also this sort of Pikmin like combat strategy, real time strategy
Mm.
combat missions in the game, which are not the best, but they're all right.
Yeah, so I've heard
And
that
yeah,
the first game was like inspired by Pokemon in many ways. Like you were like
yeah,
capturing monsters and stuff like that.
right.
And
That
this
it
one,
was definitely.
yeah, and this one is kind
Sorry.
of inspired by Pikmin because you have like a bunch of like tiny monsters that kind of group together and stuff like that.
Right, partially one segment of the three main things that you do in the game are just your regular combat where you're pressing square and triangle and you have it's real time. It's sort of like Tales of Symphonia or the Tales of series in terms of combat. Then there's the kingdom building aspect, and then there's this sort of real time strategy Pikmin game going on, and then there's the overarching story, which is I think pretty wasn't that into it in the beginning, the story, and then it started ramping up, and it got much better towards the end, and it introduced a bunch of different characters that I really liked, and I was pretty into it. I didn't think I was gonna like the story from reviews, but I actually really liked the story in the game. I think it was told pretty well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been like right now is like the biggest drought period of all time to me. Because I'm waiting for God of War and Donkey Kong
Yeah.
Country Tropical Freeze.
Oh my god, can't wait.
Yeah.
You don't have any games in your backlog or something like that?
That's the thing,
Don't
like
we all?
yeah,
I
obvious like I
can't.
have a massive list of in my backlog, but like I can't play anything that I'm not excited about. So I'm like when I'm
Right.
excited about like God of War and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, like that's what I want to play. Um
Absolutely. Yeah, I have Final Fantasy 15 in my backlog and I
yeah.
can't motivate myself to play that game right now. It's not.
So the games that I have been playing now is I played because of the hype around Far Cry 5, and like I'm not a like I liked Far Cry 3. I bought Far Cry 4 at launch, didn't like it. So
Hmm.
looking at Far Cry 5, I'm like this is the same. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
And so I went back to Far Cry 4 and actually recorded an episode yesterday with
Nice.
Curly and Paul from Star Watch.
Oh,
That
cool.
where where I go and just shit on Far Cry 4 for like an hour. So that will be coming out probably like next week or the week after, depending on when I
Oh my god.
will when I'm gonna fit that in. But yeah, what I've been playing other than that and more is Trackmania Turbo because that was just free on PlayStation Plus.
Okay. Cool. How was that game? I saw it, but I didn't play it.
Yeah, it's a very cool game. It's a like a track based like time trial racing game.
Okay.
And
Cool.
it's like very extreme. Like you use these like very racing great cars and you drive on these very crazy tracks where there's like a bunch of loops and jumps and you have
Oh,
to
that's
drift
cool.
and stuff like that. It's fun. The only thing I don't really like, yeah, it's a lot of fun, but the only thing I don't really like about it is that because it's just a time trial game, you're
Hmm.
constantly like on edge because
Oh man.
you just have to get the best time every time. It's not like
Yeah.
in when I play Mario Kart, for instance, where like it's just chill, like I can just like race and have fun. Like this is just like, okay, how can I shave down like a millisecond in this turn and like, yeah,
Oh, that's too much to think about.
yeah, exactly.
Not that good at racing games.
But yeah,
Mhm.
it's interesting, it's fun, and yeah, that's what I've basically been playing
Okay, that's
recently.
cool. Wasn't there was a large game that was free on PlayStation Plus that month, right?
Yeah,
I think.
I think it
What?
was, yeah, Mad
I
Max is
forget.
free this month.
Mad Max, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah, I have that game.
so yeah, I can talk a little bit about that game because I played it twice actually. I played it on
Oh, cool.
PS4 and then like back when it came out, and then I got it on PC later on as well. I love Mad Max, and not necessarily
Nice.
because of the game itself, but because I
Uh huh.
think the game has such intense, amazing potential for a sequel. There are
Yeah,
so many. Have you played Mad Max?
yeah. I played. Well, I played the first 2 hours of it on
Mm.
PC because it was like $6. I just picked it up.
Yeah.
It was really fun, but I think it was I just needed to restart the game,
Mm.
but I got into a mission where I needed to pick up something out of the car or put it in the car, I can't remember, and it wouldn't let me do that
Mm.
for some reason. I think I just got into some sort of glitch or whatever. I should have restarted the game.
Weird.
I
Um.
stopped playing after
Yeah, because
that.
like there's so many aspects of this game that I love so much.
I like how the car is. It's kind of like a character in itself. You actually
Yeah.
have to care about your car. You bring your car everywhere, and just the fact that you have an AI companion in the car that
Mm,
you can just kind of press a button to, and he'll like whistle to, and he'll drive the car up to you. Or if the car is like far away, he'll like shoot a flare up in the air, and the car will come up to you. Like,
it's like a horse mechanic in many other games.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
it's because what I don't like in a lot of games, and especially like from Far Cry 4 too, which I just played, is what happens a lot of the time is your car like blows up, or you've left your car and to go to do a mission, and then the mission like leaves you in a completely different part of the map, and now you're sitting there, and I don't have a car,
Right. Yeah,
and
that and now I gotta run somewhere.
yeah, and then you have to look at the map, and you have to look, well, okay, where's a car, and or even if there's a game that doesn't have any kind of mechanic where you can see a car's on the map, like you have to go and look for a car. Like what I love about that in Mad Max, and also games like like Breath of the Wild, how you can call your horse or just spawn the
Yeah.
motorcycle, or also like the Batmobile in Arkham Knight. Like you can just call your
Right.
vehicle to you all the time. Like that is so convenient, and it's not just convenient, it makes the vehicle itself feel more special.
Mm-hmm.
um
Definitely. And not to mention you can customize the crap out of it if I'm not mistaken.
mm,
And
yeah,
and just make it awesome.
yeah. However, some things that I really love about the game, but it doesn't focus enough on, is the survival aspect of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You have
Sweet.
to kind of you don't have to eat food, like you just eat food to heal yourself, and also
Yeah.
like drink water to heal yourself. Like I would love it to have an actual hunger and thirst meter in the game. um
Yeah, that would be cool.
and you also, like, you have to put fuel in your car, but
Oh, yeah.
I love that aspect of it because like it actually like yeah, you need to think about that kind of stuff. I love that kind of the management of that. But you can upgrade the car, so fuel is basically like not something you have to think about, and every time you go
Okay.
into like a stronghold, the car gets fueled up and all of this stuff. Like it basically just kind of removes that aspect of the game entirely, and that's actually kind of goes into a little bit what I don't like about RPGs is when like during the game, the interesting aspects of the game go away because you upgrade them away.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, usually I think they they assume that you don't like that sort of
Mm.
part of the game, and you really want to be powerful, I guess, by the end of the game. I think ideally that happens towards the end of the game, and but I guess maybe Mad Max is it looks like it happens maybe towards the middle or
Mm.
to the point where I mean I don't know. I haven't
Mm.
played that far into the
Yeah.
game, but
And yeah, also like I think the story is completely garbage. I don't know what's doing there. I think when I played the game the first time, I just kind of start because what I love about the game is this feeling of survival that it has. It's just like there's this barren world with like nothing in it, but like some bases and like houses where like all these like scavengers live or whatever, and you just jump into your car, you drive until you find something, you get out of your car, fucking raid the place, get in back in your car, and just drive to the next. And I like that aspect of it, like how it's. Yeah, I don't really know how to describe it, but yeah, I love that aspect of it, and the story just completely ruins it because I don't care about this fucking story.
Oh man, that's a letdown. But at least the gameplay is fun, and it's free on PlayStation Plus,
Yeah,
so it's definitely worth picking up.
it's a perfect
Yeah,
podcast game.
yeah,
Perfect podcast game.
definitely.
So any other
Grind
game
it
you
out.
wanted to get into before we go into the main topic of the show?
I played the Project Octopath Traveler demo that's on Nintendo Switch right now. I
Mm,
know it came out like a couple months ago, but I never got around to playing it, and I missed out. And I didn't think this game. I mean, I've been excited for this game, and I guess maybe I was just trying to temper my expectations because sometimes Square Enix does some wacky things with their RPGs. Like, I think what was the game? I Am Setsuna.
mm,
That game was it was interesting, and it was really great to that they're trying to put out these smaller RPGs that sort of go back towards their roots with the older Final Fantasy games as opposed to Final Fantasy 13, which was a huge misstep, I think, in my opinion. But I think Final Fantasy 15 is fine. But they're trying to push Final Fantasy towards a more mainstream audience, but
mm.
I like that they're still catering to the hardcore, RPG guys like me that want to just have a turn-based fighting system that is remotely interesting. But I Am Setsuna was to me was like I literally put me to sleep. I was so every time I played that game, I got tired and I wanted to go to sleep. So, but maybe it was just sort of the tone of the game and the visuals of the game. This game has really cool visuals. It's running on Unreal Engine 4, even though you wouldn't really guess it from the art style of the game.
Mm.
So that's a real. I think that's a testament both to their creative art style department, the creative artists at Square Enix, and also especially specifically on this game, and also how scalable Unreal Engine 4 is. So I think that's really cool that this game is running on such a powerful engine.
Mm.
And basically it's a cool game where JRPG where there are going to be 8 different characters and you pick one of them and they all have different ways of interacting with the world, which you was binded to the Y button on the Nintendo Switch. And like for in the demo there are 2 characters. There's one called Oberon, I think,
Mm.
and he's your standard RPG character where you're in the turn-based combat and you fight people and then you kick their ass and you level up and you get healing items or whatever. But then there was this other character called Primrose, I think,
Yeah,
and she's a dancer and she can
way more interesting character. Like that
she
story.
was
Like,
really cool.
story was like really dark.
Yeah, I think that was crazy that they would put that in this game. This is going to be, I think, a game geared towards more mature and older people. It's not like a kids game. So
Mm.
apparently by this character, she's basically sold into bondage after her father, who is the king of this area that where she is, gets slain by 3 people, and she's watching in the dark, sort of just hiding as a young girl, and she notices that they all have these all 3 of them have the mark of a crow on them, so she's set out to kill all 3 of them.
Mm.
and she's been sold into bondage essentially as a dancer in this shanty town, and she's sort of being verbally abused. At least we don't really know how
Mm.
what other themes, how they're gonna represent it, but basically she can interact in the world and she can dance for men, I think specifically, in the game, and allure them into the tavern and to get different things out of them. And I think it's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah.
So if it's a free demo, if you have a Nintendo Switch, go pick it up. If you haven't played it already.
Yeah, definitely check it out. So let's get into the main topic of the show, which is Sea of Thieves.
Yeah,
Um,
Sea of Thieves.
yeah, so
Xbox exclusive.
yeah, Xbox and Windows 10 exclusive.
Yeah.
So Sea of Thieves have been like it came out about a month ago at this point, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it came out on
about 3 weeks or
March.
something like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were excited about it. Like I think the first like that
I was
final
excited
beta
about it.
yeah, the final beta that they released, like that like got viral almost. Like
Yeah.
it was all over Twitch and everyone got really excited
Look
about
at
it.
this water. It's so amazing.
Yeah. And what everyone was kind of a little bit disappointed about when it actually came out is that the beta was basically it. There wasn't a lot more to it.
The game. The game as it is now for $60 or for $10, if you have Xbox Game Pass, is pretty bare bones, I think, in my opinion at least. So
Yeah.
you create a character who's a pirate. You go on a ship.
You don't really
can go
even
on two
create a
different ships.
character. You just kind of
Oh,
go
yeah,
through a
you
wheel of
pick a
random
character.
characters until you find one that you like.
And I had to look through for a while before
Yeah,
I found
same
one
here.
that I liked. But then again, it's a first-person game, so you don't even see your character
Yeah.
anyways. But yeah, but basically what I think it boils down to, this game, the main flaw in it is there's no real player progression, and you don't really feel like you're doing anything for any reason other than to just do it. There are 3 different quest systems in the game that are all they're all different, but each quest they give you is pretty much the same quest as the quest you got before. So the pirate hoarder, the gold hoarder guy always gives you a quest to find some treasure, and you have a map, and you just sail to different islands and dig up treasure. X marks the spot. That's cool. That should be in the game. But wouldn't it be cool if I got something out of that treasure chest other than just gold, I guess? I don't know. Maybe I could find something in the treasure or opt to not give it to him and open it for myself. That would be a cool mechanic. I don't know. But yeah, you level up your reputation with these factions, and then you end up getting more quests that are slightly more complex, I'll admit. But that's all I see. And then you can what can you use your gold on? Maybe you could use it to upgrade your character, like in some way you're stronger or have more stamina or whatever, or you can drink more grog. I don't know. That would be funny. But you can only buy cosmetic things as far as I'm concerned. As far as I know, you can buy things for your ship, which is cool. You can buy different eye patches or whatever, a peg leg, different pirate cloak or whatever jacket, and then you can buy different weapons. I guess that's useful, but I don't think any of the weapons are any stronger or any better than the weapons you start with. I'm not sure if that's true. Do you know?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean they're all cosmetics. So what
Yeah,
I
it's all
think
cosmetic.
the problem with the game is, I don't think the problem is necessarily progression. I think the problem is the fact that the game isn't fun.
That's the other thing.
Yeah, or more specifically, the core mechanics of the game. That's fun, but
Yeah.
the missions are like not fun at all. Like, and even if like, yeah, they would be fun once,
Yeah,
but
they
then
are
you get
fun
the
ones.
same quest again and again and
They'll
again.
kill the same skeletons.
And the skeleton
different
enemies are like not interesting. They're not complex AI,
and
like
they're
they
not
just walk
difficult to
towards
beat.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're just not interesting. And then you have the pirate, like the skeleton, like pirate masters or whatever, and they just have more HP and like maybe a sword or whatever. Like they're
I mean,
not.
I hear some of the skeletons are hard to beat once you get
Mm.
to the higher levels of that faction,
Yeah, but
but
that is
I
because
don't
they
know.
just have more health. They're not more
Yeah.
difficult because they have new moves or whatever. Like, I think they're
I
like
think
shadow
some of them you have
skeletons.
yeah, some of them you have to splash water on or
Mm.
something. You have to weaken them somehow and then you can do damage to them. I don't but
Yeah,
it's
maybe.
not that complex.
Yeah, exactly. And just the combat itself is not interesting, I think.
It's
Uh,
all right. Yeah.
yeah, like you just swipe your sword and you shoot. And I think a lot of
Mm.
that comes down to the fact that it's a first person game. I think it would be a lot, they would have the capability of making it a lot more interesting if it was third person.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
yeah. Um,
That would be then I would care about cosmetics. I don't care about cosmetics in a first person game.
yeah.
I'm never going to see it. So why would I even strive to get that golden eye patch or whatever? I don't know. There's probably some golden eye patch, but
Mm,
I mean, just to show off to my friends that I have it, that's cool, but I'd like
mm.
to see it myself. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And because yeah, like the core of the game, which is this kind of social experience, we just kind of jump in with your friends and
Mhm.
sail the seas, you know, like that's fun. Like that's fun, just
Yeah.
and like the very like calm nature of sailing, and then you go into some storm and oh my god, it's getting really dangerous and all this stuff, and maybe
Yeah.
you like find something, and it's yeah, like all of those aspects are fun, but like the fact that Wind Waker came out like over 10 years ago and was a better pirate game than this, like that says something.
Yeah, it's interesting, and it's really not. This game is not fun to play alone. I know
Mm,
that
yeah.
much. I played this game alone for a little bit, and also Yvonne, who's he's the co-creator of my YouTube channel, Hungover Gaming. We did a couple let's plays or
Mm,
one let's play of this game, and playing with him, this game gets exponentially better when you play
yeah.
with someone, with your friends specifically. You can, I think there's matchmaking in the game, so
Yeah.
if you really wanted to, you could play with some randos, but I don't that and that could end up being fun. Who
Mm,
knows? You can end up getting with a cool pirate, literal pirate. Who knows? I don't know. But generally people online I've found are either little children, which is fine. Little kids can play games, especially this one. It's aesthetically not that violent or anything,
mm,
but I don't want to play with a 12-year-old kid.
yeah.
It's not what my preference. And so I could end up playing with a 12-year-old kid, and that wouldn't be that much fun for me. I don't know. We'd end up arguing over some quests, and then I'd try to blow up the ship or something. But
Yeah, like
but
what
yeah. So
um
yeah. Sorry.
yeah, what you were saying, like this game is not fun to play alone, and not only is it not fun to play alone, it is unfair playing alone.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You
It's
can
because you're all put on the same, or you're put on a server with
mm,
people who are playing together.
yeah.
And everyone has this pirate mentality
Mm,
where they need to kill you.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
just they need to steal
The
everything from you.
Yeah, exactly. And like every other matchup of people that you're met up against, like it's literally just unfair. Two people, unfair. Three people, very
Yeah.
unfair. Four people, not even fun. Um, yeah, like and
It's fun
also,
for the four-person group.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But also another problem. So Rare said a lot before this game came out that they were very particular about not having any achievements that encourage you to kill other pirates, and not having
Hmm.
anything in the game that encouraged you to kill other players. But I think the biggest problem is that there isn't anything discouraging you to kill other pirates.
Right. That's a good point. And they also said that they not luckily, but thankfully, uh, decided to not include the death penalty tax, which they had the idea to take some of your gold away every time you died.
Mm,
Depending on how you died, they would take more gold away. And you die frequently in this game to getting raided by other pirates.
yeah.
It's especially if you play alone. I know I spent one of the first couple days I played the game. I went in by myself. I wanted to see what the game was like by myself. So I got a bunch of quests. I figured I'm gonna just go around and do all these quests before handing them in. So I completed all of the quests and I was ready to go back to the outpost.
Mm,
And then I saw the mess in the far away, and they were coming towards me. And lo and behold, they jumped onto my ship with a barrel of gunpowder, blew it up. One of them killed themselves in order to kill me, and then they just took all my loot, and that was a waste. Literally, I couldn't have done anything to defend myself,
mm,
one, and two, I lost all of the progress I had made. I spent an hour completing all those quests
yeah.
because I didn't really understand the sailing mechanics. I
Yeah.
spent an hour and then I just stopped playing the game because I wasted an hour of my time because I died.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
That
so
is that is the problem. Like it's very easy to waste your time in the game. And
yeah.
like the fact that like you waste your time and you don't come out of it saying like, okay, yeah, whatever, I still had fun. Like, no, you didn't have fun.
No, I didn't.
That's the problem. You just feel like you wasted your time. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, like also I don't understand like why couldn't they do that okay, like 4-person groups are teamed up with 4-person groups and 3-person groups are teamed up with 3-person groups and so on.
That would be cool.
That would
Would make
fix
sense.
every problem, and they would also allow for even larger groups because I think were you part of no, you weren't, but we were gonna do like a Sea of Thieves let's play
Oh,
where
cool.
where we basically we were gonna have like an 8-person ship, which is not possible
Oh
in the
man.
game.
But
Um, we
you were gonna have a 6-person ship and have two other people join you
no, you can't
or
even have a
something.
6-person ship. You can only have a 4-person ship.
Oh, I'm
So yeah, and this was before that was
confused.
confirmed, right? Like that was where
Okay.
the idea came from. So yeah, like I wanted to have an 8-person ship where we went with the proximity chat in the game and
How
all
would
of
you
this
even
stuff.
edit that? That would take so much
Yeah,
effort.
like
8 people. That would be amazing.
yeah,
Oh,
and
crap.
the most interesting part of it is that there would be permadeath. So
Right.
when
Okay.
someone died, they just have to leave
They're
the
out of the
game.
let's play.
Like that would be so interesting and fun, but
That would be an interesting video.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's obviously would be extremely unfair to face up against any ship that has 8 players on it. But if you matched every ship with 8 players against other ships with 8 players, then it's suddenly fair. Like, why
Yeah,
is
that
like, and
would
I'm
be amazing.
pretty, I would be almost like very sure that there would be enough players to do it.
Yeah, especially because this game is pretty much $10, or you could have it for free
Mm,
for 14 days if you haven't used Xbox Game Pass for.
yeah,
It's a $10 buy-in to play this game, which for $10, I think this game is worth playing.
yeah,
Personally,
definitely.
I don't think it's worth the $60 price of admission.
Yeah.
But because it's on Xbox Game Pass, if you're interested in the game, I think give it your fair shake and maybe you'll have a fun time, especially if you have friends to play with.
Mhm.
But if you're going in by yourself, I honestly don't think you're going to have that much fun.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Um, yeah, exactly. Like that's and yeah, they also said like the reason why they don't want to have any kind of upgrades to your character is because it is because of the kind of shared world that they're doing. Like you would be unfairly matched against a new player,
But
for instance.
but Destiny already does that, and it's totally fine.
Yeah, but Destiny sucks.
I mean, Destiny is not a great game, but but it works. I don't know. It's not like it's the same exact idea,
The
and they
point,
just yeah,
I think the
right,
point is
whatever.
with that they really wanted to push with Sea of Thieves is that Sea of Thieves is this kind of very welcoming game where I can just, and especially now with Game Pass, and even with the trial, like I could sell like a friend of mine that has never played Sea of Thieves before and is not interested in playing, like, hey, just get the trial downloaded and we can play for a little bit. Like, and that's
Yeah,
I could be someone who've spent like 60 hours in the game and he could have like not spent anything and we can play together. Like that's the kind of
yeah.
interesting. That's what is so
I
welcoming
suppose
about that
that's
game.
why there's no player, or that's why, yeah, there's no player progression. I
Mm.
suppose that that could be a reason why. But yeah, I guess that's a good point.
Yeah, and
But
like
you're
I
right.
think the only reason why people are complaining about the progression part of the game right now is because the game isn't fun. So when the game itself isn't fun,
That's
you
true.
look towards the rewards of the game and say like, okay, is there anything I can fight towards? Um,
That's a good point. Yeah.
and yeah, if there is nothing to fight towards, you look back at the gameplay and then you say, okay, this is boring.
I've wasted my time.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I didn't have fun playing this game, then there better be something at the end for me, but there's not even any good loot. Come on. It's
Yeah.
just gold.
Let's see. And all yeah, so the progression that exists in the game, like that is just not even interesting at all to begin with. Like and someone actually became because the goal of
The
the game is to
pirate
become
legend.
a pirate legend, and someone actually became a pirate legend, and all you get is a shanty and some really boring missions.
Is that what I didn't actually look up what he got, but that's what he got?
Yeah,
That's pretty. He spent like 500 hours doing that or something.
I don't remember
I
exactly,
guess
but
he probably made a lot of money because he's a Twitch streamer, so
mm,
he probably
um,
got some donations for it. So worth the time.
yeah,
But
yeah. So yeah, like the missions you get, like yeah, they're just like longer missions, more like he said like, okay, I got this like mission, and basically the mission was, okay, go get these three treasure chests, and it's like,
again,
yeah,
what?
and the
No.
thing is with Sea of Thieves is that you kind of restart the game every time you jump in a way.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I was confused
Yeah.
if my ship mattered, if my individual ship mattered,
Mm.
but clearly it didn't.
Yeah,
Is
so
it?
you
Yeah,
just
you
like
get
you
a new one
have
every time.
to complete like the entire quest in one sitting.
Yeah.
And that
Yep.
means spending like 3 hours.
If you picked up that many quests,
Mm.
yes, then you have three
But
hours.
that was the thing. He picked up one quest, and you had to get three chests.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, right. Yeah, so if you made any progress towards completing that quest, it's all
mm.
wiped if you haven't completed it.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it's not like you can just pause, go do something else, and then come back.
No, you can't
It's
pause the game.
online. You can't
It's an online
leave.
game. I think I saw a meme on Reddit that generations of parents will finally understand that you can't pause an online game nowadays, which makes me happy. I know my mom never understood that I was in the middle of a Halo match and I was gonna get wrecked if I had to go eat dinner right now. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think and it's such a shame because I thought this game had a lot of potential, and just everything you do in it is just not interesting. Like even with
Yeah.
friends,
Yeah.
it's just not interesting. Like
Unless everyone's in, it's sort of like Dungeons and Dragons. If everyone's into the Dungeons and Dragons game, it's gonna be the greatest time you've ever had.
mm,
But if even just one person's not into it, it's not gonna be fun at all. I don't know if you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, but it's all based off of how enthusiastic you go into it.
yeah,
If you go in with your buddies every single time and you're all drinking the grog and maybe you're drinking some grog in real life, who knows, you're gonna have a decent time, I'd say, depending on how much you spent on the game.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I think I played this with I played a little bit with Stampy, who is also on
Yeah.
Starwatch. And like, yeah, we were just kind of going around, and I was just kind of following, doing quests and like whatever, and I thought it was like pretty like whatever, like I didn't think it was really that fun. And then we kind of
It's
ran
not
into
entertaining.
a random player, and this was day one, and like all of his friends were disconnected because of server issues, and they
Oh
weren't able to
no.
jump back in.
That sucks.
So we were like, hey, join us and we'll just fucking do whatever. So
Oh,
he
you guys were actually nice to him?
yeah. So
That's
we
awesome.
yeah. So he jumps onto our ship, and I'm like, dude, Stampy, all right. You see that big hurricane over there? Let's go straight towards it, and we do.
Head straight to the eye of the storm.
Yeah, exactly,
That's
and we
awesome.
do, and it's fucking awesome. Like first, like we go
Cool.
towards it, and then like the like the wheel
Waves
is
start getting
yeah, the wheel is like,
crazy.
yeah, the waves getting crazy. The wheel, like, I need to hold it all the time and stuff like that. And then and yeah, we're just kind of chilling, just talking and like getting to know this person that we just met and all that
Cool.
stuff. And then so I'm at the wheel, and then like all of a sudden it's like and just lightning strikes right in front of
Oh
the
my god.
right, like
That's
into
crazy.
the hull of the ship. And everyone's like, holy shit, like what's happening? And I'm
Yeah.
yeah, it's because they're on the ship, and I'm the captain, basically. Like, I'm just like, fix the ship, fix the ship.
You fix the ship. I'm jumping off. See you later.
So they just like go down and fix the ship, and then we just keep heading into the storm. And yeah,
Oh
we
my
and
god.
all and like they fix the ship, and they haul the water out of the hull and all this stuff. And yeah, like that was the most fun part that I had with the game, and that was something
Yeah.
that we created ourselves. But you can't base a game entirely on player motivated goals. You
Player
need to
discovery, yeah.
encourage the player to create their own goals, but the game never
Right.
encourages you to do that.
Absolutely. Right. As you said, that's where the game shines, when you get in situations like that, or you run into the Kraken,
Kraken.
and you have a ship of, it's a social game.
Mm.
It's designed that way, but as you also say, it's not designed to, it's not pushing you in that direction in any way, shape, or form. And honestly, it doesn't even push you towards these quests, because it doesn't even have a tutorial at all. It
Yeah,
just sort of
I had
launches you into
no
the
idea how
game.
to even do a quest. Like the
Yeah, that
game,
was a little confusing.
like yeah, I am very much for games that don't have long tutorials, but there, like, you can't have a game with no tutorial. Like if you look at like a Mario game, for instance,
Yeah,
they teach you things through gameplay. They don't teach you things through text on screen. I mean, sometimes
right.
like Odyssey has controls for every like transfer, for every like capture target that you can have and all that stuff. But like the game, if you look at the first Super Mario Bros, for instance, like that game
Yeah.
teaches you entirely through gameplay. There is no text on screen, and Sea of Thieves doesn't teach you anything through gameplay, and it doesn't teach you anything through text boxes or anything like that.
Yeah, you could have ended up, playing your first time. You somehow found your ship. I don't know how. And then you jumped on it. You started sailing. You don't even know where you're going, and then you get killed by someone, and then you have to do it again.
Hmm.
So it's just really a confusing direction that they took the game in. I don't necessarily think it's like the worst game ever to come out, but I certainly don't like it that much. At least not yet. I hear they're going to be updating the game soon, adding some new content. Hopefully it's free, because I definitely would not buy
Yeah.
an expansion pack for this game.
So speaking
But
of that, segue. Yeah, so they did announce like content updates they're doing, and I read through this, like I kind of skimmed through it, and I'm like, this doesn't really sound that interesting to me. There
Yeah,
is
it's
something known as the Hungering Deep. They will introduce new
uh,
AI threats that requires crews to quote work together to discover and defeat quote.
if they added maybe some enemy pirate ships that could teach you how to do sea combat, that
Mm,
would, which is really entertaining. The sea combat in the game is actually some of the best parts of the game, even though I just complained about getting attacked by an enemy ship.
mm,
I think it's pretty cool to aim the cannon to try to tell the guy who's on the rudder to aim the ship towards the other enemy ship, and then you have to load up the cannon and you have to aim the cannon and account for trajectory. I think that's really some pretty cool stuff that they have in there. You have to control the sails, so
yeah.
it's like a 4-man
The,
job,
yeah,
obviously.
exactly. The problem isn't the combat itself. The problem is that
Yeah,
you're on very often unfairly matched up in the combats.
yeah. I mean, I understand the mentality of that because it's a pirate game.
Mm,
So I mean, everyone's out there for their own tail. They're out there to get their own booty, but it's so strange that they're also trying to make it a friendly game
mm.
as well, which is sort of conflicting in my opinion. But yeah, this new update, I haven't read exactly all the details, but it doesn't seem like very substantial. So I don't think it'll be. I don't know if it says in this article if there's a price tag to it.
No, I
But
think
that
it's
really does
free.
matter. It's so yeah,
Yeah,
if
it
it's
will all
free,
be
then that's
free.
great. Okay, so that's cool.
Mm.
I can get behind that, and maybe I'll jump back into the game when they drop it. Then
Yeah.
we'll see.
So apparently they're also considering a specific three-man ship. Um,
Oh, cool.
and
That'll be cool.
also like the at least the article notes that, or maybe it wasn't this art, maybe it was another article. I don't know. Anyway, about this topic anyway, that a lot of fans are requesting 6 and 8 man ships.
Yeah, that would also be awesome. Holy
Yeah.
crap. Yeah,
Um,
that would be pretty cool.
but yeah, like I think, yeah, I don't know if I made this point or not, but basically, you can make a social game and you can make a game that focuses on the player interaction and all this stuff,
Hmm.
but a social game isn't an excuse to make a bare bones game,
Right.
a game that doesn't have
They
anything in it.
Yeah, maybe this game was maybe Microsoft really was pushing them to release this game in March, and because I mean, let's be honest, Microsoft doesn't have that many exclusives
Mm,
coming out nowadays. So maybe they really wanted to have a game come out in March so they could sort of garner all the social media attention towards them while they prepare, I guess, Crackdown 3. I don't know what the next Microsoft game is, but yeah, so I think maybe they got rushed, or I don't understand that much about game development, being that I'm not a game developer. So
mm,
I don't know, maybe they had to restart development at some point, and so maybe this game did not get as much time as it needed to in development, or maybe this is really what Rare thought would be an amazing game. I don't know.
mm.
You're
Yeah,
right.
like the game was in development for 4 years,
Right,
and
exactly like you said earlier.
from what I remember, at least, like the water looked as good when they announced it as it does now. So they obviously, like, the joke is that they worked on the water for 4 years, but
It's an amazing look. Those waves look really good. I'm
yeah,
not gonna
yeah,
lie.
definitely. But it's clear that like they had the water done. So
Yeah.
yeah, but
It's
mm,
procedurally generated. Did you know that?
the water,
Why would you make why would yeah, the water
yeah, of
is
course,
not, and so is actually where your treasure is when you pick up
mm,
a quest. Those are all procedurally generated as well.
yeah. All right, so let's move on to the next news story here, which
Hmm.
is that God of War gets near universal
10 out of 10.
praise. Yeah,
Masterpiece.
yeah. So I'm looking at the
So
full list
hype.
of critic reviews here on Metacritic, and
Yeah.
yeah, like you have to scroll pretty far until you see the first 99.
Right. It's It's kind of
They're
crazy.
all perfect scores. For example, let's read this little blurb here from we got IGN here. I expected great action
Right,
from God of War, and it delivered that handily. But I didn't expect it to be a thrilling journey in which every aspect of it complements the others to form what is
Oh,
nothing short of a masterpiece. It's a game which Kratos, in a previously one-note character, becomes a complex father, warrior, and monster, embattled both on the field and within his own heart about how he treats his son. One
jeez.
in which the world opens up and shifts, offering rewards in both gameplay and knowledge of its lore, and I treasured it with each accomplishment. Uh,
God damn. That is a statement.
yeah,
I cannot wait. This game looks so effing good.
yeah, and on
Oh
Metacritic
my
here,
god.
like you have the score distribution between positive, mixed, and negative, and there's literally no mixed and literally no negative scores.
Yeah, right. It's all there. Everything's positive about this game. It seems like they've decided to take a much more mature route towards the God of War franchise. They really want it to be something that you revere in the light of maybe The Last of Us or something of that um, ilk, I guess.
Mm.
And I think that's sort of how Sony is pushing all of their main franchises, such as Uncharted, of course, The Last of Us, and now they have Horizon Zero Dawn. They want to have this sort of mature audience as video gamers grew up in the 90s and 80s, and now they're all adults, so they want to see where games are going, and I think this is a prime example of where games are going. I think this is really awesome. I cannot wait for this game. It's like
Mm.
got this really cool combat system that is super gamey and it's like it's still a video game,
Yeah.
which is really awesome. It's not a mature gritty movie yet,
Mm.
but and not that it needs to be, but it also has this really moving story where the sort of father son mechanic is played out the entire way, and you don't really get to like you're not cringing at the interactions between the two characters. They're not forced. It's really well acted. So I think video game developers and studios have decided to up their production value a lot when it comes to voice acting and motion capture and things like that.
Yeah.
Very excited.
So this is the lowest review so far, and I'm gonna read like the blurb from that. The lowest review so far on Metacritic is an 80
Oh no.
from Twinfinite, and they say, despite all my complaints
Delete this review.
About Atreus and the game's imperfections, this is still an easy game to recommend to anyone with a PS4. God of War marks the glorious and bloody return of everyone's favorite Spartan, and with
Yeah.
the new dive into Norse mythology, there's still plenty of adventures to look forward to as the series evolves.
Man, oh man, they just keep coming out with these. Ever since I think 2016, just the year of gaming has just never stopped. I thought 2016 was a good year for gaming, but then 2017 happened, and we got Horizon Zero Dawn, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, and then now we've got 2018, where we've got God of War, hopefully Smash Bros, and Red Dead Redemption, and then a bunch of we got Spider-Man coming out. We had Monster Hunter early in the year.
Mm.
It's getting out of control. I don't know if you have the same problem as I do, but I gotta play all these games. I really want to play them all. Oh, I can't. I can't, like, even the most negative review in terms of score is still a glowingly positive review.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's very exciting.
So overall, so first of all, God of War is the highest rated game of 2018 so far.
Yes.
But in terms of its overall of all time rating, it is currently at number 57.
Oh, is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time number one?
Yeah, of course it is.
It's always number one.
Ocarina of
Was it
Time
really that good of a
is
game?
like
No, I'm kidding. I love that.
yeah, like I think regardless of what you feel about Ocarina of Time, it is the most overrated game of all time. Like I don't think you can dispute that. Um,
But it was a good game during the time period it came out.
yeah.
So
I think the game is good. I don't think it is the masterpiece that people say it is, but and okay, what the? How is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 number 2 on this list?
that game's so sick though. No.
No.
That is very interesting. That game came out when 1998 or
2000.
something like that, or 2000. Oh, I was close.
Mm.
Yeah, so maybe it was the mentality of video game reviewers back then, and it wasn't, and video games in general back then were not so mature as they are now, as I say, I guess. And so a game like that could easily, I guess, it was also actually a really fun game. I did like that game. I don't. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 sucked a lot, but Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 was pretty good in the time period. So I didn't think it would be number 2 on this list. That's pretty interesting.
Actually, if you look at
yeah.
user scores too, which are also listed, like in let's say like in the top 10, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 has the lowest user score.
Oh,
So I think that kind of tells a little bit about how the game has aged.
Right. No, I can't say it's probably not that great of a game now, but it was very fun when I was 10 years old, or however old I was then.
But yeah, a number 57 is a very good spot for God of War.
Yeah,
overall.
That's impressive.
I mean, considering there's a lot of old games
57th best game ever. That's pretty good.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, you've said multiple times you're excited to play this game. So,
oh yeah. I can't wait.
You pre-ordered it, or are you waiting?
Yeah. Sony can just have my wallet now. It's fine. Yeah, they have my money.
Yeah, I pre-ordered. Like, I only pre-ordered after I've seen reviews, or if I'm definitely gonna play the game. But I pre-ordered
and
it on
I'm always glad
store
to
get it preloaded.
Yeah, I'm glad. Absolutely, yeah. I'm gonna. Can you preload it yet?
It said that it will
next week.
It will start automatically preloading on the 18th.
Okay, that's something that and realistically doesn't matter that much, but it makes me excited.
Yeah. I mean, it's great because you can then you'll be able to play
the
game
at midnight.
Like midnight when it actually is unlocked, you know.
Usually I can't play it at midnight because I have to wake up for work in the morning, but I think I might make an exception for this one.
Yeah, but even if you happen to have a very bad internet connection, like download this will probably be a 60 gigabyte game or something like that.
Oh my god!
Like you might not even be able to download a 60 gigabyte game in one day.
I have to clear some space on my PS4 probably to delete some games.
I actually have I did place a 2 terabyte hard drive in my launch PS4.
Oh, nice.
So I have
I just have a 1
space
terabyte. Nice. I should probably upgrade now. I just have a 1 terabyte hard drive.
All right, so let's get into the last news story that we have here, and that is the Inside Xbox Episode 2. Which I'm not like the biggest Xbox fan.
Neither am I, but I love Halo. I can tell you that much. I really like Halo.
But yeah, let's. I think the biggest announcement that they had during this Inside Xbox thing. I didn't watch it myself. I'm just kind of reading the recap on Xbox Wire. So yeah, they announced their backwards compatibility.
It's not a Nintendo Direct, let's be honest. Yeah. But
yeah, like we can compare it to Nintendo Directs later. But yeah, so they announced a lot of nice backwards compatibility here. So first of all, there's a bunch of new original Xbox games coming to Xbox One backwards compatibility. Blinks the Time Sweeper, Breakdown, Conquer Live and Reloaded, which I'm kind of excited about. I've always wanted to play that version of Conquer. Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind.
That's a big one, I think, for a lot of people.
Hunter, The Reckoning, Jade Empire, Panzer Dragoon, Orta, and SSX 3. Those are coming on the 17th, which is on Tuesday. And then there are more games coming out on the 26th, which is Destroy All Humans, Full Spectrum Warrior, Mercenaries, Playground of Destruction, Unleashed, Panzer Elite, Fields of Glory, Star Wars Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original ones,
Hmm.
Star Wars Jedi Academy, Star Wars Jedi Starfighter, Star Wars Knight of the Old Republic 2, and Star Wars Republic Commando.
All upscale to 4K with Xbox One X, right? I think so. Not
No,
exactly.
I don't think. I think they run 1080p.
Okay, that's pretty impressive
I'm not
on its own,
sure
right?
about that though. But
Those games
mm,
were mostly standard definition, or all of them were, right?
mm.
Or slightly better, maybe,
They
for
also
Xbox.
announced 6 Xbox 360 games that are getting Xbox One X enhancements. Which this is when
Hmm.
you actually like they let's see they increased the resolution to 4K.
Okay.
They um increase the anisotropic filtering to 16 times, which is kind of how textures are displayed on screen
Yes.
at
Yeah.
oblique angles, which is good. And then they also force VSync, which makes sure that
Ooh, that's big.
there's no screen tearing. And
Yeah,
if any
that's
of the
big for some
games
people.
have any kind of frame rate dips in the original version, that will be completely
Hmm.
like ironed out. And if any game had a dynamic resolution, it's more likely that the game will reach its full dynamic resolution at all times.
Okay, that's very cool.
Yeah,
These are the small things that are really that Xbox and Microsoft are really setting in place now that are gonna just win people over slowly. I think
yeah.
honestly, like when you just have a whole Xbox 360 collection, you finally decided to get your fancy new Xbox One X, and you can just pop in the game to your Xbox and have no problem and just play it.
Mm,
That's an awesome feature. And not to mention, the game will look exactly how you remember it looking, as opposed
just
to how
better.
it actually looks.
Yeah. So the games that actually get this Xbox One X enhancements this time are Sonic Generations, and this is also the first time Sonic
Oh boy,
Generations is hitting Xbox 360 backwards compatibility.
gotta go fast,
Yeah,
man.
gotta go fast,
That Sonic guy,
modern
that's
and
pretty cool.
classic. And also the original Darksiders,
Okay,
um, Gears of War 2, Portal 2, Red Dead Redemption, and Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
okay, that's look. This it's all good for people who want to play these games.
Mm,
I don't necessarily. I mean, these are all pretty decent games. They're two really amazing games like Red Dead Redemption, but I mean, I'm not going to go back and play them.
mhm. Yeah, like
Honestly, I'm not.
yeah,
I
the
can't.
only
I can't
one
afford the
I
time.
would consider playing is probably Star Wars: Force Unleashed and the Red Dead Redemption because I've never finished Red Dead Redemption. So
Yeah, I want to actually get that and beat it before Red Dead 2.
mm,
That would be exciting. Should probably do that.
yeah. Let's see. They also announced this content thing for Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands that features Sam Fisher from Splinter
Ooh,
Cell,
Splinter Cell.
and
Yeah.
they specifically had this very like kind of sad call back to Metal Gear Solid in the game in that they revealed, and basically like it's the introduction of Sam Fisher, right? And
Okay.
he kind of makes a reference to, oh yeah, there was this other guy. He wore a bandana or something, and then the other character said, "Yeah, I heard he retired." And Sam Fisher gets kind of sad, and he's like, "So it's just me."
No.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
So yeah, and that's
That's
obviously
that's
like
pretty
a
cool. I didn't know they added that in there.
yeah, that's obviously like a reference to the fact that Tom,
Metal Gear
Metal Gear
is done.
losing Kojima and Splinter Cell being basically the only pure stealth franchise left.
Yeah, It actually is,
Mhm.
surprisingly, because Assassin's Creed is not only stealth based. In fact, I don't know how good the stealth is in that game, but it's clearly not an only stealth game, so it doesn't really matter.
Mm.
But
So they also showed a trailer for Overkill's The Walking Dead,
yeah,
which
cool.
Overkill is the developer of Payday and Payday 2.
Hmm.
And I mean, like, yeah, this game was announced like years ago. Like so long ago this game was announced.
Okay.
And it's kind of coming out at a bad time because Walking Dead is kind of dying at this point.
It is a very underwhelming series
Mm.
right now.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, like, yeah, they showed this character trailer of some character named Maya, and I'm like, dude, we don't even know what this game is yet. Like, why are you showing us
Yeah. Well,
characters with like CG
very interesting.
cutscenes? Like, dude, show us the fucking game.
That would be interesting. Did they say a release date yet or
It
release
says
window?
fall 2018.
Okay, so well, you'll find out soon enough, right?
Mm.
But that's true. There was no gameplay, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no gameplay, and I
So
don't
or
think there
no
has.
substantial gameplay.
Yeah, and I don't think there's been any gameplay released at all for the game. At least I haven't seen any of it.
Yeah, the build up towards release really matters now towards the game because I mean back in the day you could say back in like 2000 or whatever you could release a game with very minimal PR and it would still probably as long as it was a franchise that people knew it would probably do pretty well.
Mm.
But for The Walking Dead it is a franchise that people know very well, but if you don't advertise it correctly, why would someone spend the time and money by getting this game when they could just go play God of War, for instance, when there's so many other different games? So making a niche for yourself and advertising yourself correctly towards the correct audience is really really important in 2018, I think.
Mm.
But
They also detailed the spring update for Xbox One, where it's some cool things in here. Like they'll actually be able to have. So I assume this is
oh
for
yeah,
the
the spring update.
yeah. So I assume this is for like the UI. It has a 1440p support, so like the UI
Pretty
will
cool.
have be in a higher resolution if you have support for that.
Nice.
FreeSync, which is actually pretty cool. If you know,
FreeSync is sweet.
yeah,
Yeah.
obviously FreeSync is kind of unnecessary right now considering no TV support FreeSync. But yeah, if you play your Xbox One X with a PC monitor, then sure.
Yeah.
And share to Twitter.
Some
How
people
did
do.
this come now?
Yeah, that's an interesting feature
Yeah.
that is not apparently I had no idea was not part of my Xbox One. I did not know. Okay. Thanks a lot, Microsoft.
And then here's another interesting one: share controller on Mixer, which is, I assume,
Yeah,
same as kind of share play on PS4.
except not as cool. Well, it is the same feature, but don't you have to be streaming the game in order to do that? I
Yeah,
guess that's technically what you do on PS4,
yeah.
but you're not streaming it to like the mass audience of
I assume
all
you
of the
can.
people on Mixer
I assume you can do a
or
private
Twitch.
stream on Mixer.
Okay, if you can do private streams, then I think this would be a pretty cool feature that rivals the PS4
Yeah, I'm
feature.
not sure if that's the case, but I assume that is the case.
But these things require pretty decent internet connection on both ends, so it is a investment in terms of internet.
mm,
So yeah, you're gonna see latency,
yeah,
but it's a really cool feature to begin with. So
yeah. I
I
actually,
applaud them for that.
I did play. It was my friend. He got Mirror's Edge Catalyst, which was like
Cool.
massively on sale.
Yeah. I mean,
So he bought it, and he was like stuck at a section, and I was like, yeah, let me play on SharePlay because
nice.
yeah, we tried it once back in the day on Little Big Planet, playing co-op in Little Big Planet.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah, we tried it again, and like yeah, there was some delay to it, but it worked. Like it works, and
No,
it's really
it
really
works.
cool. And I'd really want the Switch to have this capability because the Switch has so
Ooh,
many
yeah,
local co-op games that you would be able
like
to play
yeah,
online with people.
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be very exciting. Yeah, I mean, we also use this feature sometimes. Well, specifically the screen share screen,
Mm.
because that like if we're doing a single player game for a let's play, we don't live in the same place, so it's really useful for that because we can both react for the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah,
But yeah. Also, if you're not aware, Mixer has like a zero latency mode.
stream thing, right? Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like, and I even like I've used Mixer myself, and it's really impressive actually. Like, the
Huh.
the capture card that I have is actually like it has like a 1 second delay or whatever.
Oh,
So
okay.
I recorded like a video and sent to my friends with the game actually running like on one of my
Yeah,
monitors. And then I had two windows like on the second monitor where one is the direct feed coming from the capture card in OBS, which has the delay
yeah,
on it, so you can see the delay between the actual game and the OBS.
uh,
And
of
then
course.
the game being streamed to Mixer, and the delay between Mixer and OBS was shorter than the delay between OBS and the game itself.
What? That's very confusing. You've you've time traveled. That's
Yeah,
impossible.
that is
No.
insane. Like
That's really
the
cool.
delay is insane. How low?
Oh my
It's
god.
crazy
But
how.
what's the sort of audience in on Mixer? Is it just as large as I mean, I assume it's not nearly as large as
Yeah, no,
Twitch,
it's non-existent.
but
Like
it's
I
non-existent.
haven't
Oh,
been there
okay.
in a while, but like when I was there, like the biggest streams would have like 1,000 people maybe.
But maybe that's good for smaller
Yeah,
streamers,
like it's
like
really
I
good for
guess
small
me.
streamer because
So
people on Mixer are almost like desperate for people to
for
watch, so they
streams.
just kind of
Okay.
jump into random
Okay.
streams.
Shit, I gotta think about that then. I might try streaming to Mixer.
Yeah, and
Hmm,
it's like, and
we'll
yeah,
see.
the like the zero latency, like you actually have to download their
That's
specific
pretty cool.
version of OBS. Um,
Oh, that's interesting.
but yeah, like the settings actually like transfer between the different versions of OBS. But
Oh, okay.
yeah,
So if I don't have to remake all my scenes, then I might do that.
yeah, but yeah, yeah, like it's really good for audience interaction and stuff like that too. So
Yeah,
really cool.
right. You can share the controller apparently, which is pretty cool.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
so you mentioned Nintendo Directs before we went into this, and
Oh,
something that
yeah.
I wanted to note is that, yeah, so this Xbox, this like inside Xbox thing is, let's see, when did it actually start? Like, yeah, it's 90 minutes long.
That's a long time.
And
Oh man. And
how,
this is all that came out of it?
yeah, the announcement that they had were
Jeez.
like the, here are the, like the backwards, Xbox backward compatibility games, which I'm sure was like revealed in packs. Basically, it wasn't like game by game.
Yeah.
And then this announcement of Xbox Fan Fest at E3 2018,
Okay.
Ghost Recon, an interview with the creator of PUBG,
Okay, I guess the interview could take a while. Yeah.
RoboCraft Infinity. I have no idea what that is.
I
The
don't want
Xbox
to
Spring
know.
Update and Overkill's The Walking Dead. That was 90 hours.
90
90
minutes.
minutes. And
Not 90 hours.
yeah. um, a
Felt like
Nintendo
90 hours
Direct.
probably.
A Nintendo Direct can be like 20 minutes
10.
and have like 30 announcements.
I know. That how do you spend so much time? It must have been an hour-long interview with PUBG
No, it's
director,
they have interviews with
developer.
like every single subject on the list here.
Yeah.
So it's just a
I
bunch of
see.
interviews all the time.
Okay. Well, hey, I mean, it's it's cool that they're doing this. I think this is it's the ability to for them to control their messaging
Mm.
and also sort of give you an insight on game development. Apparently, from PUBG. I mean, I haven't watched this, so I
Mm.
don't know.
My
But
problem with
development from PUBG, that's pretty cool. But
yeah, my problem with interviews, like when it comes to like interviews before a game is actually officially released,
Yeah, like
They,
PUBG.
yeah, or games that are in development like PUBG.
Yeah.
Um,
20-year development cycle. Did you hear that?
mm,
He wants to.
oh yeah, fuck that. Basic, like you can't ask real questions. They can't
Right,
answer
that's
real
true.
questions because anything that is remotely negative will impact sales of the game. So in
Hmm.
any kind of like, and that was like before when like years ago when I started used to watch IGN a little bit more, like I would like religiously watch their like E3 stream where they interview
Yeah,
developers and all that. But after a point, you just realize like they're not actually saying anything.
it's true. Like, what is? They're just describing the game as it
Yeah,
is now, essentially, which is
and maybe you
okay. I
got
can
like
read
a
about that.
like little piece of information, but that's
Yeah,
like not really interesting. So yeah, like any interview
it's
that
true.
is
You're right.
before release and all this stuff, it's just not really that interesting. But it can't because they can't say anything. The most interesting interviews are like the post-mortems and like the
Yeah,
presentations and
like
all this
kind of
after.
funny. We'll get a yeah, exactly. Kind of funny. We'll get a game developer on there and ask some interesting questions about the path towards creating the game, where they came up with the idea for the game.
Mm,
That's the sort of interesting things that I would like to hear personally.
yeah,
And I think they're gonna get a developer for a game that actually failed soon on Gamescast. I don't know.
interesting.
I don't know if you listen to
Oh
one of
yeah,
their
I
I
listened
don't
to
know
all of their
whatever.
stuff.
Yeah, okay, so then you know. So then you probably heard at least, and I don't know, whatever. That's their
Yeah,
podcast, not this podcast.
possibly. Anyway, so let's get into the final topic here of the show. We're gonna talk about Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, this game is going to be great.
Yeah, so yeah, let's get into it. What characters do you want to see? Name three characters that you want
Uh,
to see that haven't already been announced.
well, I'm only assuming Bayonetta is going to be in this game in some
Yeah,
way, shape, or form because
let's
she's a.
assume that every character is returning from Wii U.
I don't think every character. I
But
don't know
let's
if Cloud will
for
return,
being
for
more
instance.
interesting
But
because
yeah, okay.
with new characters.
New
Yeah.
characters, let's say. I think there could be an arms, I guess, ribbon girl. What's her name? I think the two main characters in arms will probably be in this game. I would be excited if they were in this game. I would love if Snake returned, made a triumphant return. But I doubt Konami would ever let that happen.
I actually don't think Konami is the problem. I think Sakurai is the problem because Sakurai is friends with
Sakurai.
Kojima.
Oh, okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. Okay, so then, and that's probably why Snake was in the game to begin,
Yeah.
Brawl to begin with.
Yeah, definitely.
I could see. Let's see. Were there any? It would be really funny if they put Captain Toad in the game and he couldn't jump.
Yeah, that
But
would be interesting.
maybe he'll probably be an assist trophy, I think. And I think they could put a new Donkey Kong character into the game. So we already have Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong,
Mm,
but I could see the what's his name, crazy the Kong
Funky
that
Kong.
they're putting in, Funky Kong. I could see Funky Kong in the game,
Mm.
or it would be, I think it would be more interesting if they put Dixie Kong in the game for some more female representation in Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I would like to
I think that would be
see
pretty cool.
Dixie and Cranky. I think Cranky could
And
be
Cranky.
a very interesting character. I think he
He
would
would be
also be
great.
the oldest
Pokey with
character
his stick
in Smash Bros.
in Super Smash Brothers. That would be awesome. I don't think we'll see. I hope we don't see any more Kirby characters. I think the Kirby characters in the game are fairly are fairly good representation of the Kirby franchise. I mean, you have to think of characters that will represent a franchise as well. I think there were rumblings of I don't know if you ever played the game Golden Sun for the Game Boy Advance.
No,
But it's
I'm
it's
aware
a
of it, but I haven't played it.
RPG. It's an RPG made by Camelot, who is making the Mario Tennis Aces game. And actually, if you listen to the music in Mario Tennis Aces, you can hear a lot of the same themes and things from Golden Sun, or maybe it's vice versa. I don't know, but they have a similar music if you listen close enough. But I think we could see. I would be super excited if they put the main character Isaac from that game. It was rumored that he was going to be in Brawl, I think, but that obviously never happened. But
He's an assist trophy, right?
he's a cool character, huh?
He's an assist
Oh
trophy,
yeah,
right?
he is. He's an assist trophy. Never mind, I forgot about. Yeah, I don't really use items in the game,
Yeah,
so
I
I
don't
forget about
either.
these things. But it is always fun to have max Pokeball, max Bomb battle every now and then. It's pretty fun. But yeah, in terms of characters, I would like to see more Donkey Kong representation. I like that series a lot,
Yeah.
and maybe just maybe we can get Solaire from Dark Souls in there. That would be
We're not gonna
amazing.
see anything from Dark Souls, I don't think.
I don't know. They're good pals with Bandai Namco nowadays, and that would be so cool.
So
And they're making the amiibo. Come on, Just give me let me praise the sun.
Just shortly on Isaac, are you aware of Smash Fight?
Yeah.
They did Isaac back in the day.
I know. I didn't get to play that game, but I heard about it. It's a pretty cool game, but it's just not Smash Bros.
No, I mean Smash Fight. It's a YouTube channel.
Oh, sorry. I
Yeah.
thought you. Okay, sure, yeah. Oh, they made a video about it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
where they, like,
okay, cool.
Drew Isaac in the Smash Bros.
Oh, they
style.
drew. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you said something else.
Did you mean Brawl Out?
Yeah. I thought. Okay, yeah, sure.
All right, yeah. So on Donkey Kong, I love Donkey Kong too. I think
Yes, he's a great character.
one of the things that I hate about Donkey Kong in Smash Bros is that he isn't the Donkey Kong.
Yeah, he's just
Like, he's just
a
generic
really heavy
gorilla.
character. Yeah, he's a heavy character, and that's it.
And in if you look at Donkey Kong in like the Donkey Kong Country, like Returns and Tropical Freeze, and like his personality and like the Mario games that he's appeared in, like he has this like a very goofy personality, and
Oh yeah, absolutely.
that just doesn't exist in Smash Bros. Like he's just he's just a monkey. And
Cool. Yeah, that. He's not Funky Kong. All right, he's not a cool monkey, but yeah, just a monkey.
yeah, and yeah, I would like to see them just redesign Donkey Kong from the ground up, because Diddy Kong has his personality in Smash Bros.
Right.
But
Yes, that's true, and he's one of the best. He was one of the best characters before they patched something.
so
yeah.
I would like to see them update Donkey Kong, and specifically also because I don't think his moveset is pretty cool either. I think they should
And
completely.
he's yeah. No one uses Donkey Kong, or not that often, anyways. If you watch any of the tournaments, for Smash Bros. For Wii U, I guess specifically, we can talk about. You'll see Bayonetta and characters like that on the top 8, but you generally won't see too many Donkey Kongs up there. So he's generally sort of been a mid-tier to low-tier character for the entirety of the Smash series. So
I would really like to see them take his moveset from Tropical Freeze, like the new country games, where like he has his roll, and he has the ground pound in Smash already, but so you can keep that.
that's I like that move, but
Yeah.
it's not that good. It's all right.
Yeah. But yeah, just take his appearance in Tropical Freeze, copy paste, and put it in Smash Bros. All right.
Yeah. Hey, they might do it. I think though they're gonna update some character models. I think generally, if we look at, I mean, we'll find out probably at E3, and literally everything we say will probably be irrelevant.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, it's Nintendo. But I mean, I think they're gonna take a lot of the assets from Smash Bros. For Wii U, considering how much time they've had to develop this game. But I think they're gonna update a lot of the character models. For instance, Donkey Kong is gonna look different, I think, and I'm excited to see. He's always definitely been one of my favorite characters that Nintendo has ever created. and or has the rights to. I don't know. Yeah, I guess they created
Mm.
him, but and I think he has the potential, like you say, to be a much more interesting character. I'm very excited.
So
Yeah.
another thing on Donkey Kong, do you okay if I asked you that if I told you that there is one Western character in the entire
Oh,
Smash Bros. In series, who do you think that is?
a new character
No, there's only ever been in Smash Bros. History. There's only ever
oh,
been one Western character. Who is it?
a playable character?
Yeah, a playable character.
Westerns. I don't know. You got to tell me.
He is. Yeah, it's a he. He is in
Okay.
Smash Bros. For Wii U.
Okay. This is surprising to me. I don't know.
It's Diddy Kong.
I don't know. You got to. Diddy Kong's a Western
Yeah, he's the Western character.
because he shoots his.
No, I mean
Peanuts?
Western character because of he was created by a Western studio.
Okay.
He was created by
I
Rare.
was thinking like Red Dead Redemption.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, he is the
I
only
didn't know
character
that.
created by a Western studio in Smash
Ooh.
Bros. History.
That is a fun fact.
That also
A
tells
fun
you
trivia fact.
Yeah, that also tells you a lot about the fact that Skyrim dude is not gonna show up.
Yeah, okay, well, we don't need Skyrim dude. It's just his Link.
Mm.
We need, yeah, that's true. So and he was only brought into the game probably because of his relationship to Donkey Kong.
Yeah, exactly.
And they needed more Donkey Kong representation in the game.
Yeah.
So that's a really good point. That is so true. All of the characters this is a completely Japanese game.
Yes.
Apparently. So I never thought of it like that. I guess I just always assumed that Nintendo characters were already Japanese to begin with, so I never thought of it. That's interesting.
And what is
I
I think I have my I mean I know I've said that on podcasts before, but
yeah.
something that's very interesting about Smash Bros is that Sakurai has an insane level of creative independence on
Yes,
Smash Bros.
They
Like the only reason
very
why
exciting.
you have 3 Kirby characters, you have a bunch of Fire Emblem characters, you have 2 Kid Icarus
Fire
characters. This is because he likes those characters, and he created Kirby. He is the one who
Right,
resurrected Kid Icarus. He loves Fire Emblem. That's why you have like 6 Fire Emblem characters in the game.
Yeah, I know. Look, I think that we could probably do without some of the Fire Emblem characters, let's all be honest here. I like Marth and Roy. I actually specifically like Roy a lot in Smash for Wii U. I think that was a really cool rework of his move list and his weight in terms of his physicality in the game, I think, and they made him a super powerful character. So that's the type of rework that I would like to see for someone like Link or Mario. I think the difference between Roy in Super Smash Bros. Melee and Smash Bros. For Wii U, Roy sucked in Smash Bros. Smash Bros. Melee, but he's pretty decent in Smash Bros. For Wii U. So I think it would be pretty cool if Link and Mario, some mainstays in the franchise, got a little mix-up, and I think it's coming. I think we can say.
Yeah, I also think Ike is pretty cool. Like, and I especially think
cool.
I especially think he's cool in Wii U. Like, he got ripped to shit in Wii U.
Yeah, he's a really tanky character, and all his moves are so powerful.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
I also think Robin is a cool character. It's a Fire Emblem character that doesn't use a sword.
I know. We just mentioned all the characters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, doesn't he have a sword? Or he can be a girl as well.
Yeah, it does, but it's not
and
like the main move. Like,
yeah, it's all about that electric shock thing, or the fireball.
Yeah.
Yeah, his.
Let's see what was. As we talked a little bit about beforehand, like what the Link could be like in this game, and I think Link will be entirely based on his Breath of the Wild appearance.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think he will have a pretty much completely revamped moveset. especially when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to his special moves. Um, I think his up special will be Rivali's Gale, and the
Oh yeah. Oh my God. That's another thing.
mm,
That, okay. Yeah. Cool.
and he'll be able to use the paraglider after that too.
That would be such an interesting thing that they would have done. I think that would be. I think that's absolutely going to happen. Now that you've mentioned
Mm.
it, that is a really cool idea.
And then I
Oh
mean,
man, he would have great recovery then.
yeah, you obviously have his bomb, which you could just swap out with the bomb that he has in Breath of the Wild, so he could pretty much
Yeah,
keep that move. You could possibly
I
keep
think.
the boomerang move, but he doesn't really have a boomerang all the time. You can just kind of pick up a
Yeah.
boomerang as a weapon, so that could possibly be changed.
Here, how about this? Let me pitch you this. So you know how Shulk can cycle through his Monado blades in
Yeah,
Smash Bros. For Wii U? How about they do that with Link and he cycles through his Sheikah Slate abilities? I think that would be pretty cool. So they could have all those abilities and not have to use up all of the directional inputs.
maybe.
It could get complicated.
I think.
I'm
I
not the
mean,
game developer
they
here,
could
but
give
they could
Link.
figure it
They
out.
could give Link a counter move by using Daruk's protection.
That would be super cool too. Yeah, so it's either gonna be all of his special moves are gonna be the divine beast
The runes. Yeah.
whatever abilities that
Mm.
he gets in the game, which would be or even Daruk's protection. Isn't the chart the electric one also sort of a counter? Not really, but
No, it's
it's
more
a
like
charge. It's when he charges up his blade,
yeah.
right?
That could
Okay.
be a cool move. Like, what if his like center, like his middle special is like him charging up a move, his like
That would
spin
be
move,
cool.
and then if you charge it up like to its fullest
Oh,
thing, you'll be able to do the that kind of electric move.
yeah. So, okay. All right. This is it. This is what Link is going to do. He's going to have those on his bind it to B or whatever button they choose.
Mm.
Who knows if you can use a GameCube controller anymore. I don't know. So those are going to be the five abilities binded to B. And then for his normal attacks with A, he's going to be using the Master Sword. And then depending on which direction you point, he'll use a different sword or different weapon. I think they could bind different weapons to his A button skills. I think that would be pretty
I
cool.
don't think I agree with that one.
You think they're gonna just keep the Master Sword?
Yeah, I think they're just gonna, or not, maybe not
Okay.
even the Master Sword, maybe just like that Traveler's Sword shield
Traveler's Sword?
combination that he has in all
That'd be cool,
the
too.
promotional art.
Yeah, I guess he would probably be too complicated
Mm.
if they just put every weapon in the game.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe
just a dream
you
of
talked
mine.
about like being able to swap like the Monado. What if you can just swap between weapons?
That would be pretty cool too.
So
But
like
they would all
his
have to have the same characteristics for it to be fair.
yeah, like what if his special or down special or something like that is swapping between weapons? Maybe.
Yeah, that would be awesome. What do you think his final smash would be like?
Um,
Is it just gonna be the light arrow that he has? Ooh, spoiler alert.
no, I mean
Shouldn't have said that.
the special should be let's see, it should be w- getting all the divine beasts together to
Oh, that would
fire like the way like at the end of the game they do with Calamity Ganon.
Yeah, that would be really awesome. Spoiler alert. That's what you're working towards to beat Ganon
No shit.
in Breath of the Wild.
It's like that's like in the premise of the game.
I know. And you can do it within an hour, apparently, or 2 hours or something. But yeah, so I think Link is due for a huge rework.
Yeah.
And I am excited because he's sort of become. I think for Smash Bros. For Wii U, they made him a little more interesting. But since Melee, he was pretty much the same character for 3 games straight, I think.
Yeah.
But
So
it's just
the character that I think above every other character needs a complete revamp is Ganondorf.
Ganondorf, you're right. He's a really crappy
He's
character, and
just a
they
clone of Captain Falcon out
Captain
of all
Falcon.
characters.
He was, yeah. And then they sort of took him in a different direction with Super Smash Brothers Brawl, and then sort of kept that direction through to Wii U. But really, he's such a bad character.
Like I would like to see
All the same moves.
see them like they could base him kind of off maybe his Hyrule Warriors appearance, maybe
Oh, that would be cool.
maybe like just make him a very heavy sword fighter, like similar to something like at the end of Twilight Princess spoilers.
Yeah, they've always teased us that he had a sword.
Mm.
In Even in Smash Bros, his taunt is takes out that sword, and he's like, this guy could be so much cooler if he just let us use the sword.
Or
Oh
maybe
god!
he's
But
just
then
like a
there's too
pure
many
magic
sword
user.
users. I think that would be really interesting if he was a ranged character.
Mm.
Sort of, he had two larger ranged attacks, more like Samus, and that would be pretty crazy. But I don't know if we sort of see in Zelda games how often he uses magic spells. But that's, I guess, in Ocarina of Time, going back
Mm.
to Ocarina of Time, he sends that orb at you, right? And you have to
Yeah,
keep hitting it back at him.
playing tennis.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah, just Mario Tennis. It's just
Um,
all Mario
yeah,
Tennis.
but I think it would be very interesting if they took inspiration from his Hyrule Warriors appearance. I think
That
he was very
was
cool in that game.
that almost made me buy the game. He looks so cool in the game, but
He kind
I
of
don't
has a
like
samurai
dinosaur
look,
games.
right?
Right? Yeah, it
Yeah.
was really cool. I thought it was really impressive. And he had those two swords. That was
Mm.
really cool.
Yeah, I think having yeah, obviously, like he should totally have two swords. Like he had two swords in Wind Waker too.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
that should totally be how
And
it
I
works.
think I thought he was really cool in Skyward Sword as well. Uh
Oh
I
yeah,
think that was Ganon,
that
right? Yeah,
was
at the
it.
end of the
Wasn't
game.
technically Ganon. It was the first
It was
iteration of Ganon.
Ganondorf.
His
Right,
name
okay.
was
Sure, whatever.
Demise, but
Demise.
it's
It's clearly Ganon.
yeah but yeah, Demise is who later gets resurrected as Ganon.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
thought that was a cool fight to begin with.
yeah, that was a very cool
That's
fight.
it's just me.
Let's see what. Yeah, so we talked a little bit about beforehand as well. Mario. I definitely want to see a complete revamp of Mario. Because Mario's character, like yeah, as we said, like he's just a generic fighter, and
Hmm.
his special moves are like not inspired by any games. Basically, like he has the fireball, which doesn't work like fireball, like the fireball in his actual games. It just
Yeah.
kind of, he kind of shoots it out and just kind of bounces on the ground. Especially in Brawl, like that was just like depressing. Um,
It was pretty sad.
and his cape, like he doesn't even use the cape the way it works in Super Mario World. And I also think his up B is very like generic. It's just like a jump.
And they gave him the water pack.
Yeah, that
in
was
Mario
yeah,
Sunshine.
flood. Like why give him fucking
Yeah,
flood?
it's kind of lame.
Yeah.
For this game, it's lame.
Mm,
It makes sense in Mario Sunshine, but not anywhere else.
yeah. And yeah, as you said too, like they should totally give him Cappy.
I think that would be really cool. I don't know exactly how it could work, but it might be too overpowered. I think it would be a final smash, honestly, that he gets, because I mean, you're gonna kill someone with the final smash ideally, anyways.
Mm.
I don't think it makes sense to just give him the ability to control your opponent for a certain amount of time. Well, it depends on how much time
I don't
that
think
is, but
necessarily it will
yeah.
be controlling your opponents. It would probably be kind of enemies appearing and he captures them, maybe. Like
Oh,
maybe
okay.
kind of a
That would be cool.
like a side B, maybe it's like, oh, he turns into a bullet bill or something. I don't know.
Oh, so just for the move, he
Yeah.
changes his form and uses that. That would be cool. Actually, that would be really cool. And then his final smash should then be that he takes control of one of your opponents, and then you just walk them off the stage. That would be the ultimate troll move.
Yeah, that would be cool. So any other characters?
Characters. I mean, all Metroid fans want Ridley in the game. I think Ridley's a little too big
Yeah,
to
Ridley's
be in
not.
this game.
Yeah, Ridley's not gonna happen because of how Sakurai
I
has said
know.
multiple times that Ridley's too
He's
big.
not coming to the game. He also said that this was his last Smash
But
game.
he,
So
he
I don't
said
know.
that with every Smash game.
I know. That's all I'm saying. This guy lies to us consistently, and he's playing with my heart. I don't. Yeah. I don't. I feel like they could, but was there? They could put some of the sorry. Well, I guess if we've already decided that Link is going to use the Divine Beast, the hero's abilities in his moveset, they can't put those heroes in the game. Or maybe they can. I don't know.
Yeah,
But,
I don't think we need any more Zelda. And even if you were to bring
yeah,
in more
Zelda
Zelda characters,
representation's a lot.
I think the first character they should bring into Smash is the Hyrule Warriors iteration of Impa.
Oh yeah, that would be really cool.
I would love to see
They
that
already have
character
Sheik
in Smash.
that character is a really cool character in that game. That game surprisingly really cool.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
the thing is they had a bunch of really cool versions of classic Zelda characters, but
Mhm.
the game itself is kind of boring and repetitive.
Yeah, but
yeah.
it's also probably fun to play for at least 10 minutes. Come on. Yeah.
I was thinking about. Oh yeah, let's go into new characters. I really want to see Waluigi, and I have
Waluigi.
I have some really cool ideas how you can
have
do
the whole moveset.
Yeah,
Here we go.
I have some really cool ideas for how you could do Waluigi's moveset. Basically, his entire moveset will be based on the Mario Sports series. So like his main attacks.
Is he going to be wearing a visor from Mario Tennis?
Maybe that could be an alternate costume. But yeah, like he just basically swaps between a bunch of rackets and stuff like that when he uses the tennis racket and the base cool. And like a baseball racket and.
I like the idea that his alternate costume would be sort of like a Zorro themed costume where he has a cape and a rose or something to throw at you. That would be so cool.
What if
that character is
his
awesome?
His let's see, his final smash is he makes that kind of pose that he does in the Mario Tennis Aces trailer with like the rose in his mouth, and then he just kind of then everyone just goes like completely. Everyone just freezes and he's able to like
just destroy them all.
Yeah,
that would be perfect. I think. I don't think you just need to go work for Nintendo for Sakurai just to design this character. I think that's a good idea. Oh man. What about Pokemon? Do you think there could be any new Pokemon in the game, or do you think Greninja is where they stop? Because who knows? Could be a Pokemon game this year.
Yeah, I do definitely think we're gonna see the new Pokemon game this year. I don't know if it's gonna come out this year or if it's gonna come out next year, but I do think we're gonna see like especially like a tease of some new Pokemon from this generation.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see them announce the new generation of Pokemon at E3 this year, and then in a trailer and a Nintendo Direct at a later point, we can see one of the new Pokemon being announced for Smash.
Yeah, I think they add a new Pokemon character in the game and maybe take out. Well, I think honestly they're just gonna carry over the same roster.
Yeah.
Minus maybe. But yeah, so I think that they need to bring back the Ice Climbers personally.
I definitely think the Ice Climbers are coming back because they said that the Ice Climbers were finished. They just weren't able to make them run properly on the 3DS version of the game.
You can get Rosalina to run. She's got sort of two characters in one.
The thing is Smash Bros on 3DS is running so close to the limit of the 3DS.
I know.
Like they said, like all the items, the assist trophy characters, all that stuff, they run at half the frame rate.
Yeah, right. Like the Pokemon are running at 30 frames per second, and the characters that you control are running at 60 if you look close enough to see it.
The thing is with Ice Climbers, maybe ice climbers is they're able to get ice climbers in the game and it works like 95% of the time, but that last 5% you're seeing like a 1 frame drop, and that is all you
Yeah.
need for them to completely scrap ice climbers.
Yeah, no, they really care about the quality of this game. This is a franchise that sells a lot of games and will sell a lot of Nintendo Switches, so I think they really need to nail performance of the game first. So I agree, you're right. That's why the Ice Climbers were not in, unfortunately, not in 3DS or Wii U.
Yeah.
'Cause they had to have parity.
But yeah, since they're basically done and they're probably gonna have their same appearance as they did in Melee and Brawl, like they're definitely appearing. I think that's not even an issue.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Okay, so I think one more character before we finish up the episode here. Let's talk about ARMS. What do you think
ARMS
about
characters? Cool.
Yeah, so who do you think from ARMS will appear, and what do you think their moveset would be like?
I personally want the ramen girl in there because I love ramen. But let's be honest, I think it's gonna be the two. If they get 2 slots, it's gonna be the ribbon girl and her counterpart. I forget. It's a guy. Springman.
Springman and Ribbon Girl.
It's gonna be those 2 characters.
Yeah.
It has to be, right? If they're gonna include 2 of them, which I would assume they would.
Yeah.
The game sold 1 million copies, right? At least, so it's a pretty popular franchise as is, and they keep updating it. So I think they're gonna include 2 characters. It's Ribbon Girl and Springman, and I think they're gonna have sort of a grappling grab as they do in the game. So the grabs are going to be really long range, but if you miss a grab, they're going to be super vulnerable.
Yeah, I think the ARMS characters could be very
well.
interesting in Smash because they would be the only like long range melee fighters, and I think that could be really interesting.
Yeah, because they are long range melee fighters,
yeah, exactly.
which is pretty cool.
So I think like their main moves will obviously be like shooting these arms really far out, and I think they will have a very interesting moveset. As for like their special attacks, like obviously the final smash will be the rush move. Like the rush thing, and I could see them do like maybe a special. No, I mean not even a special would be the dash would just be the evade move. So
yeah, right. I think, I mean, I don't know. I don't play ARMS, unfortunately. I really should. I should get the game, honestly. But I don't know how different Ribbon Girl and Springman are in the game. Are they really different characters?
They're like, the thing is, they're different in context of ARMS, but like when you bring them out of ARMS, they're not really that different. So
okay,
like,
so maybe then we can have a palette swap, sort of, or just thinking, you choose Ribbon Girl or Springman.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Basically,
yeah, and it's just one. Yeah,
Springman's ability is that he becomes stronger when he has only 25% health left, which could be very interesting in the context of Smash.
They already pretty much have that mechanic in the game for Smash Bros. For Wii U with the rage system. If you get above a certain percentage, you actually end up doing more knockback in the game. If you look closely, you'll see sort of steam coming off of your character's face, and you will do more knockback if you have higher percentage in Smash Bros. For Wii U.
Ribbon Girl's ability is that she can jump multiple times. So I could see her being kind of
that's perfect for Smash.
Kind of a Kirby thing.
Yeah. Oh God, no.
Yeah.
He never dies. Get rid of this stupid puffball.
But yeah, I think the ARMS characters, whichever they bring into the game, I think they could be super cool. My favorite is personally Lola Pop, which was one of the first DLC characters.
Okay. Yeah, I think I remember her. I think I might pick up that game today, actually. All this talk about ARMS.
Yeah,
I need
it's fun.
Play it. Do you play it with do you play it with motion controls, or do you play it with
I can do both. I did motion controls in the beginning, but later I just moved to button controls because actually I used motion controls all the way until they patched in the ability to change the button mappings.
Okay.
So
and then it was
yeah,
just
because
I can play with buttons.
yeah, because the button mapping in the original was so weird. Like you jumped with Y instead of B.
Whoa, it's like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, and I was like, why? Why?
Why are you doing this?
Yeah, so
Stop doing this.
yeah, so
Nintendo.
when they allowed me to change the button mapping, so I was like, yeah, good. Now I'm gonna play with buttons.
Okay.
Yeah, similar in Smash Bros. I actually changed the jump to B, and I have normal on Y
Oh, that's
and
interesting.
special on X.
Whoa, I could never play the game like that. But
Dude,
I've been
try
playing
it.
for
Like
too
it
long.
actually makes
Try
it
it?
very
Okay.
like it makes it feel
Oh,
more
well,
more like just any other
do you
game.
play with a GameCube controller?
No, I play with the
Okay.
with the Wii U Pro controller, like the Switch Pro.
Okay,
or,
so
Wii U
it
Pro
makes sense
controller.
on that controller
Yeah.
most likely, but
Yeah.
maybe not on the GameCube controller, which is made for Melee pretty much.
All right, so that is it for this episode. It was a much longer episode than usual.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
So where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at JujuBeesGood, JujuBeesGood. But also, I have a YouTube channel on YouTube.com called Hungover Gaming, where we also have a podcast called Hungover Podcast. It's on iTunes and SoundCloud and Google Play, and also on our YouTube channel. And on our YouTube channel, we play a lot of Overwatch. So on Wednesdays, we put out an Overwatch video doing analysis of matches and also more recently the Overwatch League. And on Fridays we put out a more heavily edited Let's Play where we play various games, multiplayer games and things like that. So that's where you can find me.
All right, cool. You can follow me at Dennis_Lofgren on Twitter. Dennis_Lofgren also on Instagram, which I've been starting to upload a bunch of like game, like pictures from like photo modes in game, like cool game clips and stuff like that. So check that out.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And also at Rebreak Radio, you can follow the channel at Rebreak Radio on Twitter.
Yes.
Um,
This podcast is awesome. Should
Thank you.
subscribe to
Thank
it.
you. And you can also join the Rebreak Network Discord group. That's where you can find a bunch of cool people. That's where I found you.
Yeah, it's incredibly useful. Thank you again for making this Discord. Yeah, it's so useful.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
It's amazing. I love it too. All right, so that was it for Rebreak Radio episode 27. We'll see you again next week. Have a good
See ya.
day. Bye.
Bye.